dying to kill some. My daddy told me like,
All
here,
right,
son, I'm a dumb trauma.
welcome back to another episode of the Right on Target podcast. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Justin. I got Mike.
What up?
I got Aubrey.
What up? What up?
And today we have a very special guest joining us via Zoom, Rue Nostalgia. How you doing, man?
Man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Well, we're excited to have you as our guest. Thank you for coming on the show for sure.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. It's been a long time coming. You know, it happened.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Well, we stumbled across your music through Mike here. He picked your song for what we do our rotation, and he put us on. Man, we like what you got going on over there.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey,
I appreciate
it. Hey, man, I'm a fan of good music, so
yeah,
came across the house pack. So
yeah,
and I think when I introduced the house pack, I mentioned it's probably like one of my favorite projects I've heard so far in the year. Even though you dropped it New Year's Day,
literally on January 1st. Yeah,
January 1st. I mean, I came across it probably like in the next month or so, but
yeah.
Really good.
That's
project.
tight. Yeah. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man. So tell us, who is Rue Nostalgia?
Man, that's a loaded question. I'd like to say, I feel like I have. All right, let me think, because I have a lot of personalities. I feel like, and I like to do a lot of things, and Rue Nostalgia is kind of just where I can world build as an artist. You know, like growing up, I always played sports. I always loved music. I was just into a lot of different things and pretty like multifaceted as a kid. And I think Rue Nostalgia came along as just like, okay, this is where I can go and just be the artist and just be like that person for this period of time. And over time, you know, as other things like fizzle out of your life and like sports end and like other things in life come to a cease, you like all those personalities kind of just mold into one. And I think that's who Rue Nostalgia is, just a combination of experiences from the past, good hopes for the future, you know, manifestations for the future. And yeah, just a creative dude trying to figure it out like everyone else.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. Yeah.
Your name really stands out though. Like when you say that name, it kind of makes you want to see what you're about. Like, what is this?
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I was going through like a pretty big excuse me, sorry. I was going through like a pretty big rebrand period before like during the last like 3-4 years. I've been going through a pretty big rebrand period. And one of the major things was like, should I change my name, or like, should I try to go with like a different vibe? And, you know, I talked about it with like people on my team, and we kind of just decided that, like exactly what you said, when people see it, it's going to make them either be like, wow, this is like weird name, or this is a cool name. Either way, you're probably going to click something, you know?
Right.
So yeah, but I think the name Nostalgia is just, it's just been an emotion of mine that I feel the most connected to. I feel like I can be very in the moment. I like looking towards the future, of course, like everyone else, but I feel like I find myself not necessarily lingering, but I can always pull my best emotions. Yeah, from the past, exactly. So
okay. Yeah. One question I was going to ask you is where did the name Rue Nostalgia come from? Did you just think of it one day, or does it have a meaning, like the nostalgia part?
Yeah, so Rue is a nickname from when I was younger. I got it in like second grade. My name's Raul, but it's hard for a lot of people to pronounce.
Say it one more time. Say your name one more time.
Raul.
Okay. Got
you. Yeah. So my name's Raul. It's a little hard for people to pronounce,
really?
Especially when I was younger. So like when you read it, I mean, it's hard. It's easy when I tell you, but like when you read it, a lot of people are like, what? So my name was just like Rue. That's just what people started calling me at a young age. And it just kind of stuck. And so that stuck from when I was like 7 to now. And then Nostalgia, like I was just looking for something that really, like I said before, it will just captivate you before you even had a chance to listen to anything, or put you in a certain, like, you know how you have certain artists that put you in a world,
Yeah.
like, you know, they bring you into their mind and just sit you down into their world. And when you listen to their music, it's like, oh, okay, like I see exactly where
I
you're
can see
going.
that.
So that's where nostalgia came from. Again, like I just recognized at a young age that that was like an emotion that I felt a lot. And like I just loved the word. Like every time I heard the word, I was just like, oh, that sounds super cool.
It does.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So you said you mentioned a rebrand. So I'm actually glad you didn't change your name, because I think one thing that, to especially in the music industry, not that I've been in it, but just from being a fan of music, I think having a name that's interesting like that, you know, especially with a genre that's so crowded, to
Mhm.
stick out is definitely important for sure.
I appreciate that. Yeah. A lot of thought, but not a lot of thought at all went into it. So it's been more thinking after the fact, but hearing that, it feels good. So thanks.
Definitely think nostalgia fits the music that you make. It
Mhm.
kind of has a nostalgic feel to it.
Definitely.
Like I said, I came across House Pack, and the first song I heard was At All. And I immediately heard like the PM Dawn vibes on there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it gave me definitely a nostalgic feel to it. So
Yeah, for sure. I even try to do that with like the song covers, the album covers, like try to
Yeah.
make it, you know, a consistent feeling. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you felt that. That's how I feel too.
Yeah, for sure. How would you describe your music exactly to people who haven't listened to you yet?
I love that question because there's still so much to come. So like sorry, I might have to cut that part out. I'm coughing. Oh my goodness. But but yeah, there's still so much to come musically. So like I don't know. As of right now, I feel like it's just versatility and just like stepping into a different realm. I feel like right now my music, if I were to not know me and I was to listen to me the first time, it'd probably make me feel like a little dreamy, but also like you listen to a song like Moment, it's a little more braggadocious. And it feels like the human experience to me, because there's like so many sides of the human experience. You have your braggadocious moments, you have your super lovey moments, you have your, you know, your more vulnerable moments. And, you know, that's what I try to incorporate in all my music, is just like a beautiful mix of the human experience.
I was gonna say, also with your music going in so many different directions, like what's your process with picking what producer that you use, or how do you pick using what beats that you want to go for? Or, you know, how's that process?
Yeah. So with a lot of the beats, with a couple of the beats on House Pack, they're actually YouTube. Like I'm very, can you guys hear me?
yeah,
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 yeah, good.
Oh, sorry. Y'all were still, whoa.
I'm listening.
Yeah,
we're-
Whoa. I was like, is my computer frozen?
no, we
Hey.
tapped in, man.
Very focused, very focused.
That was fun.
I should make a wow, that was dope. But yeah, so with a lot of the music, like a couple of the beats were YouTube beats. And I used to be scared to say that. Like I used to be like, man, people are gonna think I'm not really like locked in or whatever. But there's really an art to like finding exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah,
And
I
then
agree.
like scouring, like for not just taking the first thing that comes up. You don't type like blah 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 type beat and just pick the first thing, you know. Like when you really get an ear for music and what you want to hear and who you want to be as an artist, like you can really use YouTube as a tool, because there are so many artists on there that if you don't have like a network of producers just like flooding you with beats, and if you don't necessarily, like me, I don't necessarily, not that I don't have the time, but I like to put a little more time into like the writing and the engineering side of it. So
Right.
I'm not producing at the moment, right? So if I want to find certain things, I got to go search for them, because, you know, until I'm at a certain point, I don't have just beats just flooding my inbox, you know.
Right.
So So yeah, but I spend a lot of time like trying to recognize exactly who I want to be as an artist, this kind of music that I want to put out, and I search really hard for that. And then when I find something, I link with the producer and we figure out like, the negotiation side of things, and then
Mm.
it usually goes from there. But yeah, I like to write a lot. So I write like 3 to 4, like not full songs, but I write every day. So for me to be writing every day, like, and I need a lot of beats, right? I need
Mhm.
a big network. But so yeah.
Okay.
So do you usually write and then try to find the beat to work around what you already wrote?
Yeah, I was
Or
gonna ask that.
or do you just look up beats and then try to write to that?
So I very rarely do it the right first way.
Okay.
Mm.
Unless I really have something that's just on my mind. Cause like I'll think of lines throughout the day and I'll like voice memo them or like write down a little line.
Mhm.
But to like really write out a whole like verse or something like that and then try to like find a beat to fit it. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it ends up me just like forcing it, like trying to
Yeah.
force a certain beat to have a certain topic. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's not what it was intended for.
That's
Uh,
fine.
yeah. So I'm a person that likes to go off of feel a lot. So I like to hear a beat and like kind of get captivated by it. And then the emotion that it gives me is what I put out onto the song. So
It sounds like you know your pockets, whether it's you on the song, kind of with your doing melodic or singing, or whether you just just spitting bars on that song. Kind of sounds like you know what pockets to kind of go with and on the song once you hear the beat.
yeah, it took a lot of practice, to be honest. Um, I've always felt like I kind of had that gift, but it takes a lot of practice. And I will say it takes a lot of listening to just a lot of music
I
and
agree.
figuring out, yeah, like other artists and, figuring out what you like and don't like. Because at the end of the day, you're really just making music you want to hear.
Right.
So if I have a favorite artist or a favorite genre or like I'm into a certain type of music right now, I want to not copy that artist at all, but like make what I want to hear in my own specific way, you know?
Right.
So I think that's something I had to practice for sure, because when you do have that kind of ear, it can easily lead to you copying somebody and
Yeah.
just like copy and pasting. So over the last few years, like me kind of like not dropping for that long period of time is just being sure that I'm an individual and yeah, just like creating a sound for myself, really. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So
It is important finding yourself as an artist first before you.
yeah, for sure. And it's hard. Like, and I used to be very like blame artists, like, oh, you're just trying to sound like this and this, but it's hard. I mean,
Yeah, so many.
yeah, it takes time. And unless you like, I don't know, I think I was blessed because I naturally am an individual, but even being a natural individual, like I'm still a music head. So I can hear something and be impressed by it and just want to do that. And I still have to make sure, like, okay, like you can take pieces from people, but make it your own. Because if someone hears and I sound like this artist, they're just gonna go listen to that artist. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Also make yourself stand out too.
You
exactly.
you mentioned some artists that you get kind of influence from. Who are some of your favorite artists that you would like to label as influences?
I've been waiting for somebody to ask me this question.
Okay.
I have a list.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I want to be pretentious and just show off now. I'm playing. But I have a list of artists. So from the very beginning, all right, Kanye.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
And that's like, and he'll always be like, I know there's questionable things going on right now, but musically,
That's a must.
especially in the beginning, Kanye, Wayne, Drake. Okay. So we got those out of the way. J. Cole, Kendrick. We got those out of the way because that's
Got the majors out the way.
Yes. I just have to like acknowledge that they definitely influenced a lot.
For sure.
Okay. But now we get to like who's like really shaped like my like yeah, just me as an artist. Like when I listen to them, like I've taken so many things from artists over the years, just growing up. And So these are those artists. Joey Badass.
Okay.
So that 1999 album, my cousin Zeke Ultra, he's actually a pretty popular rapper as well. A couple years older than me, he put me on the 1999 in like 2012 winter, and ever since then, like I've always wanted to rap and I've always known how to rap, but hearing those like that boom bap sound and like the way he was rapping and the type of words he was using and
Yeah.
how it was flowing, I totally tried to like emulate that, which in the end, which is so cool about doing that because I don't rap like him, but I learned so much, you know, and now on the day that I want to, you know, just rap my ass off, like I know that I've practiced it from since I'm 13, you know, from when I heard that. And then I will say Isaiah Rashad, huge influence. That Sylvia demo mixtape went like quadruple platinum in my ears. Yeah.
Is it Hereditary on there? Is Hereditary on Sylvia demo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Hereditary's on there.
Ooh, yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, that's a hard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that album's crazy. And then we have Vince Staples.
Okay.
Early Vince Staples, man, very influential. And not because, which I like that because I didn't relate to everything he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of what he was talking about in the early stages, at least, was like, you know, South Central or Long Beach, California, his upbringing there and like the things he went through. I didn't go through a lot of those things, you know, but I respect storytelling and I respect like people who you don't need everyone's eyes and ears on you, and you don't need to feel necessarily validated as like this great songwriter or storyteller to be one. And yeah, and he was like the epitome of that. It's like, bro, just get on the mic and tell your story. And that, so he was a big influence to me. Yeah, I feel like I skipped over Isaiah Rashad a little quickly. He was huge, like huge. But then Earl Sweatshirt, huge influence.
Earl, okay.
That's good.
Again, like just like the certain pockets, like it's like not weirdo rap. It's like it's weird how he does it, you know? So, but when you learn that and you're trying to learn it, you're trying to be like Earl. You learn how to do certain things with your cadence and with your voice and stuff like that. So I took pieces from Earl. So I could say so many more, but I'll go more recent because I like a lot
about those pockets.
Yeah, it's something, man. More recently, I've been really into like I grew up listening to a lot of like rock as well and alternative rock and like. I was kind of forced to listen to country by association.
Not forced.
Forced by association. But now a lot of my influences come from like that almost alternative R&B / like rock / you know, I don't know if you guys were Dejan. I listen to a lot of Dejan right now. McGee is another one. He's like, it's like a weird alt indie rock. Dominic Fike, huge.
Okay.
You put me on right now. Okay.
Yeah, huge for me right now. So I don't know. It's I love that I listen to a lot of stuff. So
your music influences you have a lot of them, and not I don't want to say everywhere, but kind of. Yeah, it's kind of everywhere. That's good though.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because like I don't know. It almost pains me to not have like 50 songs out right now that can like show all of my influences, but we'll
it's gonna come.
Yeah, you'll get there, man, for sure.
Probably all about timing too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, yeah, very much about timing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. This isn't originally on the notes, but I'm gonna ask you anyway, just because it's relevant with what's going on.
Tight.
How do you feel about Kendrick Lamar, you know, saying it's big me?
Not just ask me that. Oh. No, I think it's great. Like I would want to be I would want to be in the position of like someone getting called out in that situation. Like
Yeah.
I would want to be on the other side to respond, man. I think that's what you want in rap. Rap is like it's a sport, especially when you get to like the big heads like that. It's a sport, and it's so good for the genre to have them doing that. Like that's why it almost makes me wonder: is it like PR or is it like for real?
I kind
But
of feel
either
like
way, yeah, it could be. But even if it's PR, it's beautiful, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I, I can't. I mean, if you want to tell him he's lying, you got to knock him off, right?
Right.
Yes,
You gotta
that's
prove
true.
him wrong.
You got to prove him wrong. So I have my own personal opinions, but I mean, it doesn't matter if no one does anything, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
great.
I like that about Kendrick because he does this every so often. Like when he got on Big Sean's song Control, and he ripped everybody. Then I think that's what keeps the game interesting, and it keeps you at your top level and wants you to continue to grow and get better, so you can challenge and rival him at some point.
Yeah, I agree.
Are you waiting now as Drake or J. Cole? Are you waiting to respond, or you just respond? Would you respond right away, or are you gonna take some time out to for you as an artist? Just imagine him dissing you. Like, what would your approach be to that?
I think if you're Drake, okay, so Drake, I think wait a little bit.
Okay.
And let it sit a little bit because people are waiting for Drake to respond, kind of just so they could pick him apart and say he lost.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
That's true.
Like that's kind of how it goes with Drake.
You got a point.
Yeah, and I'm a big Drake fan, so like I'm also a big Kendrick fan, a big Cole fan. But I think people are kind of just wanting Drake to respond so quickly so they can just be like, yeah, Kendrick won.
We already know the results.
Yeah. So I like for Drake, take your time.
Yeah.
But I don't think take too much time. I think it should be like maybe in another 2 weeks. Like come out the blue. J. Cole, on the other hand, if I were J. Cole, I would respond yesterday. Because yeah, he's on a roll right now.
Yeah,
he can't be messed with. So I think if I'm J. Cole, I think it should really be a Kendrick and J. Cole beef. I think if I'm J. Cole, I'm selfish and I make it about me. And I act like you took every shot at me and not Drake. And
I need to throw the daggers then.
Yes. Because the way he's rapping right now is like generational. It's crazy. So I think I want to hear Kendrick and J. Cole go at it. Because like as a Drake fan, I already know I feel like I know kind of how Drake's gonna come at it.
Yeah.
And I think right now for hip hop, it needs to be J. Cole and Kendrick.
And I think like as just a fan of hip hop, hearing J. Cole and Kendrick go at each other, it's gonna be just strictly hip hop. It's not gonna be nothing personal or anything.
Exactly.
Kendrick and Drake might get a little personal. Drake's petty like that.
He definitely petty.
J. Cole and Kendrick, they're pretty much aspiring.
They're gonna spar, yeah.
So
it's like a heavyweight.
Right.
Exactly. As long as Drake's diss isn't as bad as Nicki's was with Meg.
I don't think it's gonna be that. Oh my god.
Bigfoot Part 2.
I don't think it's gonna be that.
That was one of the worst I've ever heard.
It's gonna be a hit though. I tell you one thing, if he does drop a diss, it's definitely gonna hear it everywhere.
Sure.
That's what he does.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Drake. His song's gonna be played.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be catchy.
And I think he needs to like be cerebral. When he does, it has to be like, it has to be cerebral. It has to be rapidy rap. It has to be like no hooks, no slow talking. Like
you think so?
I think so personally, because like if I were Drake, like when Drake beefs, he kind of makes people play his game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he needs to step in Kendrick's arena and show everyone like I can do what he does better than him. But I sound like I'm downplaying Kendrick. I'm a huge Kendrick fan, so I don't know.
No, it sound like it sound like he has the kind of like the upper hand right now because he threw the first jab. So I don't sound like like you bigging him up for the most part.
Yeah, he's killing it right now, man. Shit, yeah. If no one punches back, shit.
Oh yeah. All right, well, back on you. We'll shift the focus back on you after that. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. But so when did you start making music? Like, when was your first song that you started to kind of like get out there, I guess?
All right. So I've been writing music for like as long as I knew how to write. Um,
Mm,
and music has always just kind of been, especially hip hop, has always been like that thing. Like, I don't know, people go to the league, like they think about basketball every day. People
mhm.
who in the NFL, they play football every day. That's how it is with me in music. Like like I said before, I played sports. But I always had friends, like I have friends that are, going to the NFL right now. They had a little more, like something in here, like where they're in the indoor facility every day, like doing
Mhm.
football. I was good, but I didn't have that like to be in there every day with it.
That
Or like
mentality
exactly, if I play with a hooper, like he's in the gym every
every
day.
day.
I'll go to the gym every other day,
Mhm.
but I'm not in the gym every day. With music, it's like I'm doing it every day,
Yeah.
or like, yeah, it's like an everyday thing. And not even necessarily recording every day, but like crafting every day.
Right.
Like something's getting better. And you know how I know it's like it's true is because I don't think about it, you know. Like I'll just be writing, or like I'll look back in my notes and I've done this, or I've thought of this, put this idea down. And like to me, that's all being in the gym, music wise.
I agree.
So yeah. But back to the question, when did I start releasing music? So I started releasing music my freshman year of high school. I was very like eager. Like I had been writing for so long, and I was on BET every day for the last like 10 years trying to, or like the last like 7 years before that, looking up instrumentals and like trying to like write to everyone's instrumental and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was like, bro, when am I going to release a song? Like, how do I expect this to happen if no one else knows I do it?
Uh,
So my cousin Zeke, again, I mentioned him. He had a studio in his house, not really a studio, like a small closet with a mic. Um,
Usually how it starts off.
Mhm.
exactly. And I just always thought that was the coolest thing ever. I was like, I want to be like Zeke. Like, I want to record. I want him to record me. I kept bugging him, bugging him, bugging him. And one day he was just like, all right, bro, let's do it. So we got in there. I thought I was the coolest dude ever, man. Like I hopped on an Isaiah Rashad type beat.
You already knew what you was looking
Yeah.
for.
Facts. So Isaiah Rashad type beat. I I yeah, put a song out on SoundCloud. Zeke mixed it and everything like that. And then yeah, that was my freshman year. That was like around this time in 2014. So
You put it
10
out instantly like that, or you were you kind of hesitant at first? Right away? That's
I was eager.
He was
Okay.
hype.
I was eager.
Okay.
I had been wanting to do it since I was like 5 years old, like put
Yeah.
me out,
Right.
So like once I figured out like SoundCloud exists and this is how I could do it, like because in my mind I was just thinking YouTube, because
Mhm.
like before SoundCloud, and or I was thinking like how do I get on DatPiff? How do I get on
Mhm.
my mixtapes? I had no idea how it worked.
Mhm.
So SoundCloud was so accessible back then. It still is, but like back then it was like the new thing.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, for sure. So I put that out, and then every chance I got when I could record, I put more out. But over the years, like I had to find like a studio to go to because I didn't have my own equipment.
Right.
So I had to find a studio. My mom would like take me around, and we'd search for studios, and
Oh, that's
you know,
cool.
yeah, she was super, very,
Mom's all in like that.
Yeah,
yeah. My whole family is like,
that's
Oh
big.
wow,
which is
Yeah, that's
yeah.
which
great.
is really cool. Like I think I often take it for granted. But yeah, my whole family's always known that this is what I wanted to do. And they've still let me like encourage me to branch out and do all these other things and like get scholarships for football and play basketball and do track. But everyone always knew that this is like what you want to do, and we're not going to stop that at all.
Right.
So yeah, so I think that's been cool. but yeah, found studios. She's giving me her little $50 from every paycheck. I can pay for studio time. And then I was putting music out like throughout high school, like throughout like my junior to senior year. And then, yeah. And then all the way up until like 2020. And then I decided to take a little step back and kind of reassess intentions and make sure that everything I was doing was intentional. Because, you get to that place and you're just like, you see people like in high places that are like your age.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like around like the age of like 20, from like, especially from the ages of like 18 to 22, 23, I was super like comparing myself to everybody. And like, Trippie Redd just got on, and he's my age, or like Lil Yachty just got on and he's my age. And like, so I was like just doing shit that wasn't really true to me, just trying to get on. And I'm so glad none of it worked, because now I'm in a place where I feel like if I had a song pop right now, like when that does happen, I'll be okay with that. Like, because I don't think anyone talks about it. Like, you'd think you'd be okay with a lot of stuff popping, but like that stuff from back then, if it would have went big, I would have, like, looking at it now, I would have been washed, like, like I would have been, or I would have switched up so much that my fan base would have been like, this isn't you. And I would have been, that wasn't me. Like, like,
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's like, it's very true to me. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, long answer, but yeah, I started writing or releasing music freshman year of high school.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. And I think with you taking a step back, I think that kind of put everything in perspective, and you did become who you are now. You're seeing the vision of where you want to go and how you want, and we honestly can kind of relate to that because of our journey through this podcasting world. Took a couple of years off ourselves, and now we're more focused than ever. So it's awesome that you said that, because we can definitely relate.
Definitely relatable.
For sure.
Yeah. Now look at you got a dope setup. You're doing it.
Appreciate that.
If you saw our setup a couple years ago, man, you might not have wanted to come on the show, honestly.
Oh, man, it was all right.
It was like that.
Yeah.
No, it was in the living room, man.
We was just trying to make it happen, man.
Yeah, it's the living room.
All you can do.
Yeah.
Exactly. So one thing about you that we found out is you're born in Liberia, correct? Okay.
Correct.
So how old were you when you and your family moved to the States?
I was 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you move to?
Idaho.
You moved to Idaho?
Yeah.
And you're still in Idaho, right?
No, I'm in Utah now.
Oh, you're in Utah. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my
I've
God.
never met anybody from Idaho ever in my life. That's crazy.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm the first one you'll meet. That's because so there's different parts of Idaho, right?
There's no Boise.
Yeah, Boise. That's where I grew up.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The Boise, Nampa area, which is like more metropolitan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's, we're happy about that. But there's parts of Idaho that are a little more behind on, I'll just say it like, I don't want to shit on anybody because Idaho's a cool state, but there are parts that are definitely behind on the
I know what you're gonna say. I got you.
Yeah, I think you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
because I love my state, but yeah. But yeah, so I came from Liberia with my mom when I was 1. My dad was already, so he left when my mom was like, I think like 4 months pregnant or like 6 months pregnant or something like that.
Okay.
Because he had an opportunity to finish school in the States.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, to finish his college education, which was great. So he took that opportunity, and then we followed suit like a year later and came to the States. And yeah, he was going to school in Idaho. So we came to Idaho, and then I grew up in Boise. Yeah.
That's funny. That's the only thing I really know about hearing about Boise is the college, Boise State.
Yeah, go Brown.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of with Idaho, man, is potatoes, right? That's that's a place for potato.
Yeah, and I used to get mad when people said that, but like that is such a unique and cool thing to have,
Yeah.
like exclusive to your state. So I'll take it. Yeah,
Hey,
potatoes.
no disrespect. I like potatoes.
Oh, not at all. Yeah,
Potatoes are versatile.
Hey, man.
That Boise State blue field is unforgettable though.
Oh yeah, facts.
yeah. I've
That's
played a
what I
lot of
remember.
games on that field.
Really?
And yeah, I lost my last high school game ever on that field. Actually.
Oh
Oh,
man.
So that's like a legendary field for y'all then, huh?
Oh yeah, super
I
legendary.
bet.
Yeah.
It's where everything big happens. You know.
That's like our state games being at AT&T, you know.
I bet. Nah, that's a real. Have y'all seen the stadium? Well, I never seen it in real
Yeah.
life, but like just look.
Yeah, that blue
that's
is
a
crazy.
Yeah,
cool
it
look.
looks crazy.
Even the outside looks crazy.
That's
I'm like,
fire,
wow,
man.
okay.
It's crazy. And it's in a cool part of Boise. Boise's cool. Like, if you haven't visited, Boise is a very, very nice city. And I very much so used to not claim it as hard when I left to come to Utah because I was like, you meet people and they're like kind of trying to down on your experiences growing up, and
Uh-huh.
you have to grow up in a certain place. And
Yeah.
which I get it. People have home pride, and I'll never like take that away from anybody. But like, I recently, like within the last couple of years, I was like, wait, I have a lot of home pride as well. Like, and it's really nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it's, if anything, it makes me a little bit
That's what makes you unique.
exactly like more different for sure.
Yeah.
So I kind of leaned into that recently, and it's like great. Like every time I go back, I'm like, I love this city. It's nice. It's very calm. It's great place to live, great place to grow up. So yeah.
I like that you take pride in that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like, yeah, it's hard because like rap is such a sport that's built on like experiences
Yeah.
and like struggle. But there's nothing that says you can't go through certain things wherever you are.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? And which was like in the moment it wasn't as great, but like now that I look back, I've gone through a lot of things very similar to things that my favorite rappers talk about, besides like heavy gun violence. I mean, I've like, there's been gun violence, but not like, at the rate that a lot of people have seen it at. And I'll never like lie and say that I have seen it at that rate or like
You got a story to tell though.
Exactly. I still have a story to tell. And like, I've still gone through a lot of the same things that you may have gone through. And, I just think it's cool to like, for that kid out there that, may live in a place like Boise, but is also going through shit that people wouldn't think would happen in Boise or like happen to a certain person.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be like kind of a voice for that.
Think about it. That's the fan base right there too. Once you tap into those people like just like you, and they're gonna be all into your music, everything that you touch, they're gonna want to listen to.
Exactly. There's no shame in the game.
Facts, man. So tell us, you did play football, right? So tell us about your experience at Weber State.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I did play football. I played from 2017 at Weber to 2022. So like 2023 January was like my first January not playing football in college. It was fun. It was it changed my life, to be honest. Like if I wouldn't have come to Weber, my life would not look like this at all. I like have faith in myself that I would have figured something out, but like coming to Ogden, Utah it didn't seem very desirable, but I met people and I got to share experiences with people and I got to hear other people's experiences. And the thing I love about it too is my team was really diverse. I came in with a class that we had people from Vegas, we had people from California, and not just like LA, but the Bay, like, and then people from LA too. And then we had people that grew up here in Utah. And I was with Polynesians too, and you know, just everybody. And it made me so comfortable being in that situation because I was around diversity. And then like at the same time, I wasn't like anybody that was on my team as well. Or like there were a few kids that were like similar to me, like growing up in a place like a Boise or like a Salt Lake,
Yeah.
something like that, but kind of being like a little more, not the outcast necessarily, but a little different because, you know, you're Black and you're growing up in a place like that, especially being an immigrant kid.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it really changed my life. And then, I mean, if I wouldn't have come to Utah, I wouldn't have met the girl that I'm with right now, and we wouldn't be about to have a kid. And, you know, like, it's just all like, it really changed my life. Like,
That's awesome, man. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, definitely congrats.
thank you. I say the girl I'm with right now. That's not the case at all. It's like the love of my life. So I'll just, yeah.
Did you ever get the I don't know, does Dame ever come back to Weaver State from time?
Yeah, he does. I've always had something to do every time he's come back.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, but he comes back. He shows love. He like gives the basketball team shoes and like he's super involved.
Oh, so I know he's legendary there. That's where he made his name at.
Very much so. Yeah.
Hey, you trying to get that feature? You trying to get that
I've been
Dame
trying
Dollar
for a
feature?
while.
Oh yeah.
I think I've DM'd him like 3 times.
Oh,
But you know, we're
keep
working
going.
up to that point. He'll catch on.
He'll peep it, yeah.
Eventually. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Well, so you play linebacker, correct? I actually have your ESPN stats right here. I'm looking at them.
Oh wow.
I pulled it up.
So I'll tell you from the jump. Some stuff is missing. Some stuff is
Okay.
missing.
Oh,
Is it missing?
yeah. I was about to say.
They're jipping me on a few stats, on a few tackles.
Oh.
Okay.
They're jipping me. No, I'm playing. Actually, I'm not playing. They do jip you, but it's not on like purpose. Like sometimes shit just gets like missed, or like you'll have a certain amount of tackles, and you watch film back, and it's like, wait, that was me.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
half tackle. That was a.
I know
so-
it's difficult trying to see who, especially with tackling. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Getting stats is like, and then you feel bad because like you're not necessarily playing for the stats, but you're playing for the stats. Like,
Yeah.
Fact. I mean, you are.
same time.
You are.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a report card. You kind of need
Exactly.
that.
And I've looked at it even when I was playing, like for this exact reason. Like, people are gonna pull my shit up, and I want them to see the accurate, like what
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
really did. I'm not saying I was Ray Lewis, but I
Right.
was, you know, I was serviceable.
So, being as a linebacker and with the NFL, do you follow the NFL at all? Are you who's your team? We'll start.
I know he does.
Fly Eagles fly. I'm an
Oh,
Eagles fan.
Wow. I
no.
know that hurts y'all.
No, sir.
You talking to 2 Cowboy fans over there. These 2.
All right, man.
Oh
This
my
was-
goodness.
This was Rue nostalgia.
I'm surprised they didn't end the live yet. Like this is
All right, we gotta go.
That was a great episode, man. We appreciate you. That's crazy.
Oh,
Eagles?
okay.
man.
What made you an Eagles fan?
Yeah, y'all got this.
Love when people ask me this because people are like, Idaho Eagles. So no, I had an uncle that lived in Philly for some time. He's Liberian, but there's very much a such thing as Philly Liberians. Like Philly has like one of the highest concentration of Liberian people in the United States. So that, and he came to Idaho. He was in the Air Force, and we were watching the Super Bowl in like when they played the Patriots. That was 2004, 2005 season.
Right.
And this is like when I could remembering what was going on, you know? So he was just like, all right, today, like pick a team. Like we're Eagles fans. And I was just like, all right, we're Eagles fans. And I was like a little kid.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, we're Eagles fans today. So like ever since then, like then I got mad in 05, picked the Eagles. And then like that was just like as a kid, you know, you're super like impressionable. So
is that T.O. on that team?
yes.
T.O.
Yeah.
McNabb.
Yo, McNabb, Westbrook.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a good team to become a fan.
Crazy.
It hurts you to say that.
It does.
So
Yeah.
so y'all just got Saquon, man. That's That might be decent.
Yeah,
That's
will
as
be
good.
good.
That's as big of a compliment as he can give.
I can't tell if they throwing shots at you or not, Rude. It's a little, got
I
a little
can't
tense
tell
in
either,
it.
man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Just a little passive aggressive.
Yeah,
just
crazy.
a little bit, just a
We're
little
Yeah.
we're diehard Cowboys fans, so we
Yeah.
can't. We gotta.
I
Flip
respect
the
it.
switch.
I
Oh
mean,
my god.
I don't hate the Cowboys. Like, I hate them, but like I respect them. Like, I respect the players,
Yeah.
right? But when it comes to the
Yeah.
I will say, at least you've seen your team win Super Bowl. So
Hey, facts. Facts.
This whole interaction is great.
This guy's a Saints fan, so he has nothing to say.
Nothing.
Okay, so one of my former roommates plays for the Saints, Rashid Shaheed.
What?
Hey,
Wow.
yo.
maybe,
I live-
you
I
big
live
him
with
up like
Rashid.
every episode.
They tried
no, I'm just like we've been giving him his props like all year.
Yeah, facts.
We definitely have, yeah.
Okay. That's-
See, I
Yeah,
can't
I'll
tell
let
if
him
you're
know.
throwing jabs or not.
No jabs. No jabs at the Saints, man.
No, but
That's crazy.
we lived together like twice, so like in two different situations. So yeah,
That's
That-
cool.
that's my guy. He's hella dope. But yeah, I like the Saints. I don't love the Saints because I love the Eagles, but I like
Yeah.
the Saints.
That's better than what I got from what he said about y'all. So
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't
Yeah,
like
bro.
the Cowboys over here. We're like,
I'm
no.
just saying,
Yeah.
So the question I wanted to ask you, as a linebacker yourself, how do you feel about the hip drop tackle being banned?
All right. So I know I have a few opinions. My first knee-jerk reaction is like, no, like that's crazy. Like you're gonna ruin the game. Because a lot of times, like as a person who's tackling somebody a lot, like you're not doing that to try to hurt somebody.
Right.
Mhm.
Targeting's a little different because you can see like a helmet and you can like specifically go and try to hurt somebody.
Right.
But the hip drop it's different because you're just trying to bring somebody down any way you can, which is the name of the game.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
I'd rather do that than miss a tackle, right? And before a few years ago, I had never thought of the hip drop as a dirty thing,
Right.
Like, until I get you start seeing all these injuries and like somebody's leg, like they get dropped here and their leg snaps.
Yeah.
So it's like it's to protect the offensive players for sure, and I get it, but it's like there's got to be a better way,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Tricky.
Yeah, it is tricky because I don't want to see a bunch of penalties on like, routine tackles.
Exactly.
Yeah, and people like how hard it is to like go into a tackle and you're tackling somebody and be like, I want to be a dirty player and pull them down and
Yeah.
like try to snap their leg. Like it doesn't happen like that.
No, yeah, it's not intentional.
No, it's never intentional. And like if it is, like we probably would never know because it all looks the same, So I don't know. I think I get what they're trying to do, and I hate seeing players get injured that way because those injuries are like all gruesome and like But at the same time, that's one thing. Like it might just have to be like as a ball carrier, you got to just protect yourself, or if you feel that about to happen, I don't know, like maybe I'm just like talking, but like if you feel that about to happen, maybe
Now you got to
Try.
protect yourself though.
you
Gonna
got to
make the
find
game a lot longer. Though.
ball, or like it's the same way if you're about to fall on your head as a quarterback, you tuck your chin. Like
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe if you're about to get hip drop, you lift your legs up and like don't let one leg sit in the ground. I don't know, maybe I'm nonsense, but
Nah, that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
for sure.
Game's about to be so much slower. Like it's gonna be.
yeah. I hope it's one of those things like they just like every once in a while they call it.
Yeah.
If it's like how targeting first came in, like how it was like every like hit was like unnecessary roughness targeting, like then it won't be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Also those new kicking rules too.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
That is I don't know how
Yeah.
Was the NFL ever a goal of yours?
So I don't want to say it wasn't a goal because like when you're out there on the field, like to have that mindset, like I don't want to be the best is kind of crazy.
Right. Yeah.
But like to be very honest, not necessarily. It was never like a big goal because I always knew what league I wanted to make it to, and that's like
Right.
rap, or just music in general.
Mhm.
But my goal was always to play D1 college ball and like play in the big stadiums, play in the big games, and like just be like the best football player I could be for that period of time, and like go to college for football, be a college football player. And
You
then
did
like
achieve that.
yeah, so I mean after that it was kind of like, okay, if I've done what's necessary, I would try to take the next step. But it got to a point like after my last season, I didn't want to necessarily disrespect the game, and not saying that like I was about to get drafted. I'm like, I'll sit out. No, I don't want to do it. But I'm just saying like in my position to get to the NFL, I definitely could have done it, but I would have had to put forth like a crazy amount of effort after the fact of like after the season was over, like workout, pro day, get an agent, like do all this stuff. And then
You don't have time to do anything else.
yeah. No time to do anything else. And then do all that just to get to the league and be like, I want to make music.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, now I'm just done. That was fun. Like I feel like it was the next step. Like once you do that, like, all right, like I'm here to like try to make this happen. And like, I don't know, like I'm kind of comfortable with the fact that I didn't, like, because I know it wasn't a factor of me being scared. I know it wasn't a factor of me being like not talented enough. It just came down to like, I had something else I wanted to do with my life. And I kind of respect the game of football a little too much to be half-assed,
To even play with. Okay, got you.
Yeah, no, I like that. You definitely, I feel like you don't want to half-ass anything. You want to full ass it,
Exactly. Yeah.
And you turned those football hours into your music, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you would have put it in football and you turned it into your music.
Yeah.
And see, that's what's good.
full ass.
Don't
No
want to
diddy.
half-ass two things. You want to full ass one thing.
Yeah, both
Full
cheeks.
ass. Full ass is crazy.
Yeah, both cheeks in it. Yeah.
Both cheeks is
Both
crazy,
cheeks.
man.
Yeah, I want to make it, but I don't know if it's too soon. So I don't know about a certain.
Go for it.
Go for it, man.
Go for it, man.
Go for it.
No. I'm good.
All right, we're good. Let's get back to the music, man. You just dropped Daydreamer, man. I'm a big fan of the song.
Big fan. Yeah, it's a
Definitely.
great song, man.
Thank you.
One line that stood out to me, you say, my baby mama not a test run, my daughter can't come in here messed up. You already brought up having a baby on the way, man. How do you feel about fatherhood, like going forward?
I feel like it's where I'm meant to be. I've always felt that way. But it's kind of been like a background thought because obviously when you're not like with somebody, like you have to find the person that makes you really like want to bring it out, right?
It's true.
So it's always been a background thought. Like I grew up always wanting to be a dad and thinking I'd be a cool dad and all that stuff. But like meeting my girlfriend and like us being together, it was just something that came like so instantly to me. Like, okay, like this is who I'm supposed to like procreate with and like build an empire with. And, so that, and yeah, I just feel like that's one of my purposes on the earth is to be a father and to create like something that to leave behind, and that's like one of the best ways to leave behind, like to leave something behind is to like have your family. And I want to like raise somebody and bring somebody to shows, like bring a little kid to shows and have a kid grow up around all the stuff that, not that my parents did a bad job at all, but all the stuff that like growing up, I was like, that would be cool to grow up around this part of show business, or that'd be cool to grow up around, like grow up in like a musical
house.
Yeah. And my parents are both very musical, but like not like how I want to do it going forward. You know what I mean? Like, like I want her to grow up like playing instruments and like and stuff like that. And
got you.
But yeah, so I think putting your own imprint on somebody, but also like letting them be 100% individual is like a crazy thing, but it's something I've always wanted to do. So,
Well, speaking from experience, man, because I have a baby girl myself.
oh,
Man, it's great. Like,
really?
I'm sure you're already doing it, but like play music for her while she's
Yeah.
using the stomach. You know, I played a lot of Stevie Wonder for my daughter.
Nice.
And I mean, she loves music. Like if we're watching a movie and it doesn't have music, she'll walk out and she beatboxes and stuff when I beatbox too. And stuff.
Wow.
Like, so,
That is fire. I mean, I just play a lot of like, this sounds terrible. I just play my own music all
oh
day.
no, I mean, I think
She's
you have
probably
very-
just like, she's probably like, damn, nigga, like, can we hear something?
like, get it,
Can we
man.
put some-
Yeah, facts. She either loves it or she's like, okay, something else.
No, I think you have very appropriate music
Definitely.
for playing in the womb. It's,
Sure.
like, because you have a very musical sound, so it's not just like playing 808s on the stomach.
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
but nah, and then your girl as well, she makes music, so y'all definitely gonna have a
Musical
child.
family right here.
Sure, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to her. She's better than me. So
and
that's like, and that's kind of the type of person I am. Like, to be fully like captivated and invested, like I'd kind of have to be with somebody like that makes me want to like, you know, like, okay, I can chase you for the rest of my life, you know, because I mean that keeps it exciting. And in this case, I don't have a choice. Like, she's just better than me, and she always will be. I love that though. Like,
So I got to give it up to her.
yeah, I got to. Like, I
That's
love
good
that.
that you do.
Right. So yeah.
yeah, she kills it well. I know she's on Renew.
I gotta, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Now I'm glad that you said that. That's been stuck in my head ever since I heard it. I'm over here admiring this dude because I'm missing.
Oh,
I said, man, this song is hard. I can't
When I
even lie.
released it, I couldn't listen to it for like a month because I was
Really?
like, I heard it so many times, and I was just like, man, this hook is stuck in my head too.
It's so true
It's
though.
catchy. It's very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
love it.
It's a true thing that people go through in life though. A lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, I was going through it. I tell you what.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, hey
Yeah.
man, tell us, you just performed at that Tree Fort Music Festival. How was that experience for you?
It was absolutely like eye-opening because I performed at Tree Fort when I was 18, but I was in like a really small 21 and up bar, and like it was like an arcade, and they kind of just like threw me in there, like not to like shit on Tree Fort, but they, you know, I was pretty unknown, so they were just like, all right, you can get your little shit off, but you're gonna be over here. So I performed there, and none of my friends could go because I was 18 and it was a 21 and up bar. So
Right,
Oh,
okay.
like I wasn't even supposed to be in there damn near, you know, like
Just in there by yourself.
yeah. So like I just had like random people that were passing by that showed up and stuff like that. But this time, like people came out for me, and like even people I didn't know. Like we went to breakfast earlier that morning, and the waitress was just like, yeah, somebody told me to listen to you, to go watch your show tonight. And I was like, what? Like, are you serious?
yeah.
Like, me? But yeah, like it was like 30 minutes before I was about to go on, and it was kind of empty, you know, it was kind of more of like a social hour. People were just chilling because it was still a bar, but it was a bar with a real stage and like a floor where people could actually stand, and you know, it was set up for a show, and it looked cool. So I was like seeing the emptiness, and I was kind of like talking to my girl and like my homies, and I was just like, you know, this is for practice. Like, it's not a big deal if no one comes, like, because I'm trying to hone in my abilities and make sure that I know how to perform and like all this stuff. And bro, when I tell you, like 10 minutes before the show, there was like a line down the stairs, and I was like, what?
What?
I was like, what? And then during the show, like it was packed, and I was like, that is insane. People were singing the songs, and
Oh yeah, I know that was a
That's
cool
beautiful.
experience for you.
and the cool part too was like I knew a lot of the faces, so it was like so much love. Like for me, it was like I really appreciate people like showing up, because you know, like sometimes it's like when the homie makes music, it's like, like, okay, like,
Yeah.
I'll check it out later.
yeah, like, and I used to get mad at that, but like as I grow and as so many more people are making music, like I get it. Like it's almost until you do something to make me pay attention. Like I'm gonna respect you, but like, but a lot of my friends showed up, and the thing that made me happy too is a lot of people I didn't know showed up as well. So yeah.
And that's
awesome.
back in Boise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Which
back
was
in your
dope too.
hometown. Yeah.
Yeah, which was super dope. Like it made me feel very comfortable. And yeah.
Right. No, that's dope, man. Hey, if you ever come down to Dallas, hey, we'll be at your show.
Oh,
Definitely,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to put together like cities to come to, because I think doing like your own little mini tour is like the coolest thing ever. And just like even like
think so.
framing a tour, and you're not necessarily on the road every day, but like this week I'm in Dallas. Like in 2 weeks, I'll be in Seattle. Like, or in another week, I'll be in Miami. Like that's the best way to get your name out. So
That is.
I don't care if it's 5 people in there, if it's just y'all 3 in there, I'm there. Like,
Hey, we'll be there
Hey, we
Yeah.
nonetheless,
pulling up
man.
for sure.
oh yeah,
I know you still gonna perform like it's 20,000-30,000 anyway, so
Exactly.
we prepare for that.
exactly.
Well, what's next, man? What do you got next going
I
on?
got a lot. I got a lot next. I have a lot like of ideas, and I love this time period because I'm getting shit off finally, like the way I want to do it. Like I haven't, like it's been a lot of like waiting for the last few years and like life just happening, and now it's finally at a place like where I can just like, I feel like stuff is just happening, like just by the grace of God. Like it's not even my own hands doing stuff. It's just like boom, 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 boom. And I also feel like I've let go of the like necessarily wanting to be like famous thing, or like wanting like a million plays on every video, or like, I've noticed things have gotten better for me when I've been okay with the little wins.
Right.
Like for me, getting 1,000 plays on a song right now is like there's 1,000 real people listening to my music.
Right.
Like that's crazy, and it makes me go
Yeah.
harder. In the past, I would have been like, man, like only 1,000, like what? Or like the moment I drop something about Moment, like a reel, it has 11K plays,
Oh,
and I'm like, what? Like 11,000 people have seen this? Like that's good enough for me to like keep going.
keep
And,
yeah,
Right. Right.
momentum.
yeah, yes, and I have so many ideas, and like the part that I love about it the most is that I'm very in the moment, but I also see where it's going, and it's looking great, because the way I'm gonna roll shit out, the way shit is gonna unfold, and just the way life is unfolding. Like come on, like having a kid is like
Yeah.
the ultimate like motivator, So, and I feel like you can hear it in my music, like so, like Daydreamer, like that's the most hungry I've rapped in a
You
minute.
sound hungry.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
just
Yes, and I'm trying to give that off. Like I'm trying to let you know, like I need it. Like they want it, I need it.
Yeah.
And this is why I need it.
Sure.
So, but yeah, a lot of stuff's coming. More just like world building and like trying to drop some summer stuff. I really want to showcase what I can do in different genres. I do think I'm probably most comfortable rapping right now, because like that's kind of like, I want to say like I'm a rapper by trade. You know what I mean? Like just by what I've always grown up loving. But I love rock. I love like slower alternative R&B, and I want to show all that off. Like especially for the summer, I'm a big summer guy, and I like to have like songs to live to. I want to create like theme song music, like movie music for like,
I like that.
like, yeah, a period of your life. Cause we all have like, we think back to like 2015, it's like the Party Next Door, like was your music to this experience, or like, like, so I want to do stuff like that with my music, and I want to make moment music, not just like songs. Like I want to make songs that people will like remember that period of time, and it'll be a soundtrack to that period of time. And I think I'm doing that. I feel like I know I'm doing that, and now it's just like I have a team now. Like I'm building a team, and I have somebody who loves to shoot videos, my homie Marcus, and he's very talented with that, like very talented. And now we know where to get equipment. We know where to go to shoot. We know how to edit now. And like, you know, I got homies that rap too, like my homie Ilani and my homie Brevin, and everybody has their own talents that they bring to the table. Because when we get on stage, like at Tree Fort, Ilani was my like hype man, you know, and he's so good at that. And Brevin was just, he did everything pre-production, like stage setup and all that kind of stuff. But we all balance each other out. And I think because of that, the music that's coming next is gonna be chef's kiss.
Sounds like you got all the tools. You got the collective, you have your video director, you have somebody. It sounds like you're good with picking out what beats you want to go with, as far as, so you got that down pat. Sounds like you got everything that you need.
And that's also another thing, like Daydreamer is the first song that I've dropped that like wasn't a YouTube beat, you know? Like, and that's like a connection I made. And that feels so good to me because I'm becoming a person that I want to sit in the studio with like people who are playing the guitar, and I want to learn how to play the guitar. And I want to sit in the studio with people who are playing the drums and playing the keys, and we're all like, you know, doing it together. And that's kind of how that came about. It was still like through social media, but Claydo, like, he's a real producer, like in person. Yeah. I saw it, you know, and then I'm like, I want that beat. Like, I need that. Like, I felt something, and I already and I just got the verse out and put the song out within like a couple weeks for Daydreamer, and got the video shot, and we still have the full video coming, but I have a lot of shorts and stuff like that. Like, so that was exciting too, because, you know, that was something that felt a little more exclusive to me. So I felt like I kind of had to body it. So I hope we're going in more of a direction where like the production is a little more exclusive and a little more like just for you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But even in a sense, like, even if it wasn't, no one would ever know besides me. You know, and it only matters how I get on the song. Like with Rendu and Moment and At All, like, it's a Rue song. Like, it's a Rue nostalgia song because I did that on the song, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So like, if I would have told you I made it, people would have just been like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know, so
it would have been more okay. I'd been like, you made the beat too? Like, what the
exactly. Yeah. But that's definitely something too. Like, that's also something that's coming. Like, I want to get into producing. Like, I was into producing when I was in high school, but then my laptop crashed and I lost and I was getting good very quickly. I was like 15, and I lost FL Studio, and I just never got it back again. But I'll be back into producing. I'll be playing instruments. I want to be like a live show performer, like somebody who's really playing the guitar.
I love live shows like that. Yeah.
Yes, and I want to do every live show with a real band, and I want to, you know, I want to really get into the music. So I think that's what's coming next. Yeah.
Man, you might turn into Prince, man. I don't know.
And wherever it takes me, I mean.
Well, yeah, we're definitely excited to see where your career is going.
For sure.
We've had a great time talking with you, man.
Definitely.
But before we get out of here, why don't you go ahead and drop your socials and where we can find you?
All right. Wow, I've always wanted to do this. It's kind of cool. So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. What else? Spotify, Apple Music, all as Rue Nostalgia. So yeah, Rue Nostalgia on everything. If you don't find me there, let me know and I will get on there. So
we got you, man.
Yes, sir.
Whenever you do your little Dallas show, man, come through.
Yeah,
come through to the studio.
Through.
Please.
Oh yeah.
We love to.
We'll do something in person. I think that would be super tight.
Oh yeah, that would be
sure.
tight.
Yeah, we'll do something for sure. And I want it to be. I'll try to make it happen soon. I'll get some fans down there here soon. So yeah.
Well, all right, man. Hey, we really appreciate you coming on. We've had a great time. It's been a great conversation. We definitely enjoyed it for sure, man.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. This is like a big deal for me, and you guys kind of being like the first of this, it'll always be history. So yeah, salute.
But that song's
sir.
still stuck in my head. I'm gonna be.
You know why it's stuck in your head? It's because it's the 28th or the 27th. So it's about that time. Rent due.
Yeah.
His rent is due. You know?
No, you're right.
That song, like every time it comes to the end of the beginning of a month, it resurfaces, man. And so
Hey man, you might have did something with that. Like,
Yeah, I think you
yeah.
did something with that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
just wait.
I had
Like
to add that.
It's like
I
when
think-
people post Bone Thugs every first of the month. You know, they're gonna be.
Oh, if he gets to that, he's out of here.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm not tripping on anything, because I know like once the right person hears it,
Oh yeah,
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
it
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
For sure, man. But all right, man. We're gonna get out of here. But once again, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great.
all right, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem,
All right.
man.
Peace.
Peace.